And for more on this story, TRT World reporter Shamim Chowdhury joins us from the forum.
Well, Annalise, there are many topics of discussion that will be happening over the next few days. Some very grand themes that many consider to be crucial to the world that we're living in today, and also crucial to how we can devise plans to kind of move forward and deal with some of the crises that we're facing. A number of eminent speakers, academics and thinkers are here. They will be on panel discussions over the next few days, and we will be getting their thoughts on how they believe that we should be moving forward on the international stage. I have with me Jonathan Powell. He is the director of the charity called Intermediate, which is a negotiating and mediation organization. He's also the former chief of staff of the former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Mr. Powell, I would like to ask you, many forums like these have been taking place in recent years. I'm thinking specifically of Davos. We are, of course, going to be hearing many interesting topics over the past few days. But what do you think makes this forum different from the others that have taken place so far?
Well, I've been to many Davoses in the past, and it is a remarkable institution. But I think this is rather different, as the Turkish Prime Minister was pointing out in his speech this morning. Turkey is on the edge of a whole series of conflicts that challenge the world, from Syria, Iraq, Libya, the Gulf, Somalia. And so they have a quite different perspective. Coming here to Istanbul, you have a different perspective. You're on the front line. And Turkey really is indispensable to solving those problems. So I think you can have a very different sort of discussion here than you can with the Grand Panjandrums in Davos. It's a different sort of people, different perspective.
One of the subjects that is coming up later this afternoon that you're taking part in is the Middle East and North Africa region, and in particular the aftermath of the Arab Spring. Now, there was a lot of hope at the time of the various Arab Springs that took place that this was a new era of transparency, of democracy, and none of that happened. Do you see any new ideas coming forward when this discussion takes place later on today?
Yes, I think we're making a fundamental mistake when we say the Arab Spring is over. We were much too optimistic at the beginning of the Arab Spring. We thought it was going to suddenly lead to democracy, and history would have told us that wasn't going to happen. We're now much too pessimistic about the Arab Spring. We think that it's all over, that it's back to dictatorship. Well, both are wrong. We're too optimistic at the beginning, too pessimistic now. We know what happens with a revolution. You have a revolution, you have a counter-revolution, you have a dictatorship. Think about Napoleon, for example. But that is not the end of the story. We do then move on. We move on to a new sort of approach in these countries, and that's what will happen. It'll be long, it'll be painful, but we have some reasons to hope. On the panel with me is Sheikh Rashid Ghannouchi from Tunisia. And his moderate brand of Islam is really fundamental to the fact that Tunisia is the one spark of hope we still have from the Arab Spring. He, by sacrificing himself, sacrificing his party, has led to stability and hope in Tunisia. And I think that could spread to other parts of the world. So I'm optimistic in the long term, but it is a long term, and it does require us to be patient.
Mr. Powell, thank you very much for your time. So obviously that is a discussion that we will all be looking forward to, and we can expect some new and fresh ideas to come out of it. And also later on in the day, there will be a discussion on the role of the media as well. So many topics are up for discussion over the next few days.
Very interesting indeed. Shamim Chowdhury live for us from TRT World Forum. Thank you for that.